this is all like one of the grand experiments for the NFL this year. And we really don't know. For as much as I say the Browns are a wild card this year because of Deshaun Watson, the Ravens are kind of offensively a wild card too. We know who Lamar Jackson is. We know what he does well. We know what he's capable of. My big question is, 3rd and 5, number one, is Todd Monken going to call a pass play, or is he going to say, you know what, Lamar Jackson can gain 5 yards on 3rd down. Let's just let him go do it. And is Lamar going to stick with the progressions? Is he going to follow the play that's called, or is he going to say, the hell with it, I know I can get 5 yards? You really want to make the transition. Chris Sims was making the comparison yesterday to Steve Young early in his career, running around all over the place. As he got deeper into his career, he had to stay in the pocket and make things happen. This is the moment, this is the time, this is the year for Lamar Jackson to play a different way so he's not used up. He's not broken down. He's not beaten to the point where he's Cam Newton and he can't find a job in his early 30s because he took too much physical abuse early in his career, running the ball when he could have been passing the ball. This is the time to make the transition. Smart for him to do it, but, we'll see if they can pull it off when it's time to play the games that count.
Yeah, and look, I think that if you expect them to, come out like a house of fire early on in the season and it's just going to be Lamar Jackson throwing for 400 yards, I don't see that happening. And I don't think that is really the point of what they want to do. They want to become more balanced on offense, right? So you have to be able to have a better passing game in order to do that. You need more weapons besides Mark Andrews in order to do that. They do. They have Odell Beckham Jr., who's healthy. They have Zay Flowers, who, by all accounts has been outstanding in training camp. But it's still going to take some time for them to all get on the same page, figure out what works. Because again, Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator has to figure out what works and what doesn't for each one of those players, right? So that's great when you have all of these things that they can maybe do, but it's still going to take probably a quarter of this season, maybe a little bit more of that, to really figure out what their best plays are, where they can really turn to in critical situations where it's 3rd and 7, right? So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, that it's going to take some time. It's just, will we get to December and is that passing game going to be something where you look at it and you're like, oh man, that's dominant? Or is it going to be something where you're still questioning whether or not it really works? And is Lamar Jackson going to be able to stay healthy through the entirety of the regular season? Because that's also something we haven't seen for the last couple of years.
One of the big questions, one of the big issues that came up this week, the input that Lamar Jackson suddenly has that he apparently didn't have in past years. Todd Monken talked yesterday about how it's important to empower the players and it's a collaboration, and that's good. That's overdue. I just would have assumed once a guy becomes the NFL MVP in 2019, he's got a little juice in the meeting room, and Greg Roman's listening to what one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL has to say. It's part of the progression as you prove yourself. It's good that the Ravens have finally gotten to the point where they're relying upon Lamar Jackson, getting him invested, getting him involved, getting him to take ownership of the offense. It's more likely that the offense will be implemented the way that they hope it will be if the quarterback is fully on board with it and if he helped build it. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.